Great news. Our next guest is going to give you your life back because after listening to him, if you're wise, you will never obsess over polls again, and you will never be trying to fall asleep in fear of a giant red wave that isn't coming. Simon Rosenberg writes, "Red wave became a collective delusion. It obscured what had been happening in the election since Dobbs. Elevated Democratic intensity, Republicans struggling, late promising Democratic data, good polls, strong early vote, was dismissed. Hopium, it was called. Once again, the pundit world showed that Oscar-winning screenwriter William Goldman's line about show business applies to them. William Goldman said of show business, quote, 'Nobody knows anything.'"
The politicos with whom I spoke today all agree, as of now, a modest red wave, at the very least, seems to be building.
The short answer is it's going to look good for Republicans. The longer answer is it's going to look very good for them.
I, for one, never obsessed over polls during the campaign. I never reported on the generic congressional ballot polling because I think those polls are mostly useless and because, among many other things, as legendary House Speaker Tip O'Neill famously put it, all politics is local. So I personally gave up trying to figure out what was going to happen in congressional elections a very long time ago. But this year, whenever the latest poll showing some version of so-called bad news for Democrats came out, I always noticed that on Twitter, Simon Rosenberg had a wise counterpoint or two or more to raise about those negative polls for Democrats. Simon Rosenberg is now widely credited as the person who wisely saw through the red wave delusion when just about everyone else in the prediction game fell for it. Joining us now for a well-deserved victory lap is Simon Rosenberg, a veteran of Bill Clinton's successful first presidential campaign, and he has served tours of duty at the Democratic National Committee, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Thank you very much for joining us, Simon. I want to cover as much ground as I can for people just to convince them to stop obsessing over polls. and let me just begin with one thing that I've heard you explain brilliantly, and that is, what is a likely voter? What is a likely voter in polls, and how that's basically some form of a guess of who a likely voter is?
Yeah, I mean, it is a guess, and it was particularly hard in this election because in the last two elections, the electorate grew so much. And we had all these new voters in the electorate. It was going to be very, very hard to know who was really going to vote. And so I do think this question about likely voter it was always hard, but it was much harder in this election. It's one of the reasons why the polls were really all over the place over the last few months.
And I want to go to something you said about what we saw in Michigan, which we were just discussing, this win of both chambers of the state legislature and the governor. You've said that as the dust clears, that might be the most important thing that happened.
Yeah, I think it's the most important thing. It may be the most important story of the election because it shows the power and potency of the abortion issue. It should really worry the Republicans, and on an issue that is just so important to so many people, they are so deeply out of position. And it's very hard to understand how they get back into position on this issue. Their base is not going to let them cut a deal with Democrats, not let them moderate in any way on this issue. They've made an historic error. And to me, it could be an error as big as what happened with the Republicans in the Great Depression, where an entire generation of people just look at that party as something that's just not really available to them. So I think it's a deeply consequential thing. It's not just going to drive this election. It could drive the next few elections. And it's why I'm very optimistic about Democratic chances in the coming years.
You know, when you were in the Clinton war room and I was hanging around my very first presidential campaign, that I was working in the Senate, but adjacent to it, I remember being in New Hampshire for the primary for the first time in my life. And you walk into one of the places where all the press is hanging out, and everyone asked everyone else the same question: what do you know? They don't know hello, nothing, just what do you know? And to be smart in that conversation, you were supposed to know what was going to happen, which has something to do with what we were just seeing on video there, with people pretending they know what's going to happen.
Yeah, listen, the big miss this cycle was on Democratic intensity. I mean, the polls weren't wrong. The analysis was wrong. The analysis of the polls and the data were wrong. And let me explain really quickly why, right? In June, the election changed. The combination of Uvalde, January 6th committee hearings, ending of Roe, the abortion restrictions. And all of a sudden, what we were seeing, right, in these 5 House specials that took place were consistent Democratic overperformance and Republicans struggling. You saw it again in Kansas. You saw Democrats overperforming, Republicans struggling. Didn't really look like a red wave. And then you saw Democrats raising much more money into their campaigns than Republicans, another sign of Republican struggle. And then the voter reg numbers went way up for us, right? We saw a big surge of Democrats registering, particularly women and young women. So we were checking all of these intensity boxes, and the Republicans were checking none of them. And so the question was, would that same dynamic show up in Election Day? And then the early vote came, and we saw that same dynamic play out over the 2 weeks of the early vote. And so what we posited was, look, what we're looking at here, and as you put out in the tweet earlier, the polling in the last few weeks also, if you stripped out the partisan polls, were pretty good for Democrats, including your final NBC poll, which may be the single best poll of the whole cycle, by the way, the NBC poll that came out the Sunday before the election. What we were looking at was high Democratic intensity for months and months and months, Democratic overperformance, a close competitive election, and polls that were on balance actually pretty good for us at the end. And so, we were optimistic that on Election Day, the election that you saw was going to take place, and we're pleased that it did, obviously.